Into our next availability, we are now joined by Dale Earnhardt Jr., driver of the number 88 Diet Mountain Dew Chevrolet. Dale, you won here at Talladega in the spring. You're in a must-win situation here this weekend, along with quite a few other chase drivers. Talk about being back at Talladega and your mindset heading into Sunday's race.
Yeah, we're just going to go out there and practice and work on the car and do what we need to do today. Qualifying's tomorrow. Try to do as good a job we can there, and when the race starts, run up front. Try to stay toward the lead. I think it's important to be in the lead in the last 50 laps of the race, so we're going to try to be there.
All right, we'll start over here with Steve and then go to Jonathan and Jordan.
Steve Post, Motor Racing Network. Dale, you have the opportunity to do a promotional thing with Joel McHale with the Soup. I don't know if you're involved with all the stuff happening tonight out there, but just bringing someone like that from the entertainment world in, and what was that experience like getting to work with him on that project?
Yeah, I don't know if we'll all be sorry once it's over with, but I'm just kidding. We had a really good time. They were very nice, and we had a good time out in the West Coast shooting that promo, and we will be over there tonight. So it's live TV. It'll be pretty interesting to see how that goes on and how they put the show on. It's a very fun show. I've seen it several times, so I kind of know what we're getting ourselves into. But it should be good. I mean, it's good kind of putting ourselves in front of a new audience, and hopefully we get some fans.
All right, we'll go to Jonathan, Jordan, and then Mike Hembree.
Jonathan Merriman, NASCAR.com. Dale, your teammate Jeff just came in here and said the fewer green-white checkered finishes you guys have, the better it is for you guys. Do you agree with that? And does your position facing elimination possibly in this race kind of skew your opinion on that, whether or not you get caught up in something on the first, second, or third?
Getting caught up in anything on any of them is never good, whether you're getting eliminated from a race or you're running a Daytona 500. You don't want to be in a wreck. I think the green-white checkers are a way to give the fans an opportunity to see a race end under green, but how many are too many attempts, Even with 3 attempts, that's not 100% guarantee that you're going to finish the race under green, so when do you end it? So I thought 3 was a lot. I still think 3 is a lot anywhere, at any race. 1 attempt was kind of the norm if anybody ever did that in racing in the last 100 years. 1 attempt seemed to be plenty, and I thought that was a good move for NASCAR. Not only considering what happened in Daytona, just 1 attempt. I mean, we want to finish under green. We should hopefully finish under green without the opportunity of a green-white checkered. But if there is a problem where we have to run extra laps, there'll be 1 attempt, and that should satisfy not only the fans, the drivers, but everybody involved.
All right, we'll go to Jordan and then Mike.
Jordan Bianchi, SBNation.com. Dale, when you speak at Talladega and racing here, you speak confidently. You seem excited about it. You seem to really enjoy it and like it. Your competitors kind of seem, for the most part, don't. They kind of seem to dread it a little bit. Does that give you any sort of edge that you have that confidence, that mentality of, hey, I'm going to go there and I'm going to do well and I'm going to take it in?
Yeah, I don't think you have to talk to everybody instead of just the handful of guys that you've had a chance to speak to. I'm sure there's some other guys here that are just as confident when they come here. But I feel like we won here. This year, and we've ran good and won at Daytona over the last several years. So when we come to all the plate tracks, we feel confident we can do well, run well, feel confident in the car. The confidence that you have in the car is really where it all stems from. If you go out there and you go through about 50 to 100 laps and the car is just not really showing you what you're looking for, you lose a little confidence in the ability of the car. And another guy beside you might be going through the opposite situation where his car is awesome and he's gaining confidence as the race is going on. And with that confidence, his moves and decisions are different, changing. And, when you don't believe in the car, you make different decisions. You might not go in a direction you would typically go because you don't believe the car is capable of making that move without causing you to lose spots, right? So when you feel like you got a dominant car like we've had over the last several years, you definitely make some moves with confidence, and you come into the race with confidence. So until we see anything different, we will be confident.
All right, we'll go to Mike and then to John.
Mike Hembree, USA Today. Dale, your dad, of course, won his last race here. what do you remember from that day, and were you among the drivers he passed in that charge?
Yeah. Marty Smith wrote a good article on it this week. I was sitting behind Mike Skinner. We were in single file line on the inside. Mike was protecting the bottom, and I was going to sit there until the last lap and try to pass him. And Dad's line formed on the outside and was coming, and I could see him in the mirror getting, knocking off a few guys each corner, getting closer toward the lead. And then I had to decide whether I was going to try to pass Mike now and then maybe battle my dad for the lead, which was probably the best thing I could have done. Was I going to push Mike, try to work hard, and because once their line got to ours had been kind of stagnant for a while. I think ours would have sort of rejuvenated itself and began to maybe battle back. And so I knew that pushing Mike Skinner past Daddy was not going to work well. I think I was riding home with Daddy anyways, so I didn't have a plane then, I don't think. But I knew he wouldn't have wanted me to do that, and he, we can't communicate at that moment, but you're just thinking about a million things. Like, he's passing me. Part of me is pulling for him. The other part of me is thinking, I'm not in the situation I want to be in, because I thought I was just going to have to try to pass Mike. That was the only thing I had to worry about until the end of the race. Now, our lane's not the lead lane. What do I got to do to get our lane back into the lead? So it now is again against me and Mike. But Dad, I don't want to push Mike in our lane past Dad, and so I started running. I started not pushing Mike. Started lifting. So and then our line really started falling, and then I decided coming through the tribal that I was going to pass Mike, and I went to the bottom, and he stayed against the apron. So he said basically at that point, if you're going to pass me, you're going into this corner on the apron. And that wasn't going to work. I was going to wreck myself and Mike and everyone else. So I had to lift. And when I lifted to get back in line, and I fell to like 14th place. Of course, we had already lost about 5 or 6 spots to Dad's line. But it was a mess. So I just sort of self-destructed mentally when all that was happening, because I didn't know exactly what I should do, what Tony Sr. wanted me to do on the pit box, what Dad wanted me to do, and but he won the race, so it worked out for him, and that was good. I mean, it was a hell of a comeback, and it's great for Kenny Wallace. He seems to really enjoy being a part of that story, and he's such a great guy, and he has a lot of respect for Dad. So it's great to hear that story. I hate to think about how it went for me, because I wanted to win the race. We were just starting to sort of understand our strength at DEI as a plate track powerhouse, and we began to win races after that. But I'd like to try it again. I wish we could do it again, because I think I would have done a lot of things differently.
All right, we'll go to John and then come up front.
Thanks. John Horovitz, ESPN.com. Dale, with your family's legacy here at Talladega, I'm sure there's always a little extra pressure on you here, but can you maybe talk about how much extra pressure this chase cutoff puts on you and everyone else this weekend? Yeah,
I mean, it's real intense. There's no denying the intensity and the pressure it puts on drivers like myself to be in a cutoff, situation where you're eliminated if things don't go perfectly on Sunday. But I think it's what the fans enjoy. I think if I'm a fan, I like it. I like this. I know that I've read quite a little bit of comments about this system and whether it's fair and so forth. And I think that I've read a lot of great opinions about that. But it definitely, as a fan, I think it's really what we needed. And even if we don't make it through this weekend, I think it's still going to be exciting. It was great last year, even when we weren't a part of it. It was amazing to watch, and I really like to see the sport be as healthy as possible, and what we saw last year was great for that. This one's been pretty intense. See some guys get wrecked. I myself got wrecked, so it's definitely, we were worried. I know we had some comments and questions from some guys. Were we going to be able to see this kind of intensity we saw last year? I think we have, and it's not even Texas yet, and we all know what happened there. So who knows what's left? I'm excited to see it, and hopefully I'm a part of it.
All right, we'll come up front and then go to Ryan McGee.
Hello, Dale. Dixon Hayes, WBRC Fox 6 Birmingham. One of our sports reporters is doing a feature story on a member of your pit crew, Rowdy Harrell, previously played football at Alabama. Tell us what you know of him, and for that matter, do you tend to hire athletic guys like him to change the tires on your car?
Well, we have a system at Hembree Motorsports that brings guys in, and a lot of these guys are coming out of college or coming out of different careers and as athletes with maybe they just kind of went through the system, but some of them coming from injuries and so forth, but they're still capable of going over the wall and being competitive on a pit crew. And so we've got a pretty good system, and we've had a lot of guys moving in and out of our team this year, trying to find a good combination that works for us. And, I believe in what we've got going on at Hembree Motorsports to find that combination. So we've got a lot of good guys, and I'm hoping what we have right now is going to work for us the rest of the season.
All right, and we'll finish up with Ryan.
Ryan McGee, ESPN. When you won in May, and we were sitting here and we talked about, you went into a great detail about the last 20 laps and how you kind of knew where it was going to go and the flow of it. All these races seem to have different personalities, even though we want to lump them in as plate racing. How quickly or how late are you able to kind of recognize the personality of a race so you know what you need to do?
Yeah, I don't think that you see it till like 20 to go. And to me, they all look kind of similar up until those last 20 laps. And I think the personality, of the race depends on the guys that are up front and what they're willing to do and what style of plate racer they are, the kind of things that they've done in the past. And the teams, you sometimes you get teammates up there working together, and sometimes you get one group ganging up on one lone guy. It just depends on the characters involved, but it takes a long time. All the races feel very similar to me right until the end, and right around the end, we either, you sort of realize where you are and what your chances are. Like I said, I think I need to be in the lead with 30 or 20 to go to have a really, really, really good shot at it. If not, it's going to be a bit more difficult task to get that lead. It's just really difficult to pass the leader, and he's probably going to be a strong car if he's got the lead. So it'll be tough to get around him. They'll be trying to do everything they can to hold it, and hopefully it's exciting. But I'd love to lead the last 30 straight, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, Dale, thanks for joining us, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.